Hi guys and welcome to Bomb Anime.
It's your girl Ruka.
And Big Boy Sam here bringing you our Let's Talk of Season 2 of Classroom of the Elite.
Yeah, so our guys are back. It has started off of the back of a previous test and the beginnings of a brand new test which is on this massive yacht. They have split them into groups which are mixed groups between the different classes with a VIP member that is hidden that they can either choose to discover or not out of all of the different groups, and there are different points allocated to each of the different scenarios for the VIP member and the rest of the class.
We come off the back of the last test, which was really cool, and Aina Koji showed us exactly who he was, and now it's another test. Now this test looks really complicated. It's murder in the dark with extra steps, and to be honest, I'm not going to lie to you guys, I am not 100% on it, because there's group points, class points, mixed bag of classes inside one group, and a VIP who, while I'm watching this, I have no idea who is who and how they're going to even try to find out who the VIP is, considering that Class A has decided that they are boycotting all discussions.
Exactly, and that's the problem because they're all mixed groups, which means that all the Class A members in the various groups are going to be having the same strategy, which is to not speak. Obviously, Ichinose also has her own agenda as well. It seems like Class D hasn't really discussed it much, and Class B even kind of seem like, we'll go with whichever way the wind is blowing, either way. That's what it's looking like right now.
To be honest, the only discussions that we've seen from Class D so far is between Suzuki and Aina Koji. It's a bit weird because I would have thought that Aina Koji would have got the whole class to have a discussion and maybe let him into his world of thinking so that they could have a little bit of a fighting chance. But we did see last season that Class D aren't the worst because they are actually defective. They're the worst because of behavioural issues, really. On the most part.
I know a lot of the classes have a lot of behavioural issues, and we're going to see more of that as the season goes on. But I think what we've seen, like what you were saying, you thought Aina Koji was going to sort of take the lead, but what we're actually seeing him do is take a step back. He asked Horikita, do you need my help? And she said no, and he was like, okay, cool, she doesn't need my help, I'm not going to intervene. So he's going to just see how it goes. That's what he's claiming. He's just going to go ahead and see if she can do this on her own. I think that's always his plan. He doesn't really want to be in the limelight too much anyway, so he needs someone who's going to be able to make their own plans instead of babysitting everyone at every step. We also see that Kawazawa, a character that Aina Koji doesn't really get along with, is in this group with him, and we're seeing their interactions. Obviously they're foreshadowing very interesting things with this character. We've seen an interaction that she's had with 3 other girls from one of the other classes where it seems as if Kawazawa has been bullying another person and their friends are coming to defend her. Her reactions were a little bit weird when they confronted her, and then we saw her at the end crying in the shower.
Yeah, I thought that was a bit weird because, like, she's obviously got an issue with her picture being taken, and that's probably going to be unpacked in the next few episodes or whatnot. But if you're a bully and you are bullying some kids and the kids come to confront you, normally don't you say, yeah, I did that, what and what? Like, don't you bring out that bad man mentality? Like, don't you? Or I don't know too many bullies, so maybe I'm wrong and all bullies are cowards, really. I don't know. What do you think, Luke?
Well, I've read the light novel, so I actually already know all about this story, so it's kind of hard to say what I think when I know.
Okay, never mind then. Not what you think then.
I would just say it's interesting that Kawazawa always seems to be in her phone, yet every time people are having discussions around her, she can answer whatever they're talking about, which means she's actually not as in her phone as she's pretending to be. So I would just say that with Kawazawa, you can see that there's a lot of a front character that she's playing on the outside, and then the person that she actually is. Why she's hiding that, or if she's hiding that, I cannot say.
Isn't that like, okay, it was pretty obvious that was the case, especially like in the episode when she got saved by that dude, which I can't remember his name right now. She got saved by him and his 2 boys, and Then she donned the whole typical Japanese innocent, cute, kawaii girl look like it was nothing. But you could tell from the eyes, the way they were drawn, that this was a front as well. So yeah, Kawazawa is basically duplicitous. And it's pretty cool because it seems like the whole of Class D and a few other members in the other classes have some real monsters in there who don't show their full fangs straight away. But really and truly, when they bare their teeth, it's gonna be a banger. This is why I like Classroom of the Elite. I'm sorry, it's one of the few animes that I've been screaming about to get season 2 from the moment I finished watching season 1. And I'm so glad it's here.
And now you're getting season 2 and 3.
And now we're getting a season 2 and 3. Yes, anime gods, thank you.
I always think it gets interesting when Aina Koji takes an interest in somebody. And we saw him watching Kawazawa. That's actually how we saw her when she was interacting with the girls. It was kind of through his lens. You knew he was watching her the whole time. He was watching the interactions and he was making his own conclusions and probably thinking about how he can use her because he... Oh, crap.
Yeah, slow down. Slow down, Ruka. Slow down. These guys don't know. Anime, bomb anime.
Aina Koji, we all know, is looking like a villain.
He is the villain.
So
he's the best villain as well. He's such a villain that he made someone else the king.
So, you know, that's just how he's gonna look at people. Like, we all know he doesn't look at everyone the same way. They've shown us those dead eyes. He looks at everyone with these dead eyes. No matter what he's saying or what he's talking about, he has these same eyes. So, you know, something that's not right there. I mean, he's in Class D.
I mean, look,
so we already know there's something not quite right with him.
Yeah, but they put him in there purposely because they thought that this would be a challenge for him. Get Class D to number 1. Look at how the episode actually started. The episode said that, this is what Aina Koji said, by the way. He said that human beings have nothing but goals to live for. Paraphrasing, go watch it if you haven't, you know what he exactly said. He's probably going to find the goal in this test because he looked at the test and literally went, yada yada, oh my god, what a bother. Because, you know, it is a bother. Look, I'm sitting here trying to figure out who the VIP is and I really couldn't because A, it's episode 1 and B, no one's trying to talk about nothing. I want to ask Ruka for her opinion, but I know her, she's just going to spoil everything. So I'm just going to leave it at that. Can you guys figure out who the VIP is based on episode 1? We can't do it.
No, I agree with you. It is hard to figure out who the VIP is, especially at this stage. And let's face it, I'm not as smart as a lot of these characters. So, like, yeah, Dan, it's not for me. The test is not for me.
Question though, I can't even ask you, Ruka, so I'm gonna ask you, the audience. Do you think Aina Koji is gonna figure out the VIP and take the points for himself? Or is he gonna do the whole thing that he goes, well, if I take the points for myself, it's gonna be a little bit baked that I am who I am, and then I'm gonna have to engineer it so that everyone else figures out who the VIP is so that I can hide in the crowd and we can all get the points? Because I'm leaning towards the latter, because this is the Aina Koji that I know and love from season 1. But if I was Aina Koji, I would have figured out who VIP is, take the place for myself, and say, me are here, me a bad man in it.
This test is so far removed from the previous test that they had, which you needed a lot of strategy, you needed a lot of physical elements to your body, you needed to sacrifice for the group. This one, it seems a lot more tame for a second test. Like, you just have to have some discussions and figure out the classes. They had a similar kind of element in the last test, but it was way harder on the mind and the body.
I disagree with you. I think the last test was a lot easier than this one. I think this is more intellectually difficult than the last test was. Because, and hear me out, 3 groups had 3 different strategies which would have won if Aina Koji wasn't there. Each of their strategies would have given them the game changer. Aina Koji was the anomaly of the situation. In this one, I even haven't heard Aina Koji try and make a hypothesis or a speculation as to who it is yet. Now, I'm not saying he hasn't already understood who the VIP is. I mean, it is a little bit awkward or weird that Class A has decided that they're going to abstain, or Class B has decided to take moderations and mediations for the whole group. Class C look like a bunch of bumbling idiots in this situation, to be fair. And Class D is just chilling and observing. I get it. So really and truly, it's pointing me more towards Class B or A having the VIP. However, that might not be the case. I haven't heard any speculation or nothing from him, and I think this one's more intellectually taxing because you're relying on the ability of others to not be themselves or selfish. The other one, you can strategize and get it, and it only took 3 people in each group to actually get the winning goal. The rest of the group were basically pointless on each group. Do you get what I mean? This one is a whole group thing dynamic. That's where I'm coming from with it.
And on that note,
don't forget to like, subscribe, and share.
And if you made it this far, thanks so much.
Peace.